أخوي فهد، احنا تكلمنا من قبل بضوابط لائحة خدمة العملاء، صح؟
صحيح، وعارفين الله يسلمك.
طيب لا نقعد نطول ونعيد المسرحية اللي قاعدين نعيدها كل أسبوعين. أبيك تسمع المقطع ده وتقول لي إذا في أي أخطاء صايرة تعلمني وش اللي صاير.
ألو ألو ألو.
السلام عليكم، فهد ناصر، كيف أقدر أخدمك؟ إيش فيه؟
شايف شيء غلط بالمكالمة؟
ما في شيء.
كيف ما في أي شيء فهد؟ 24 ثانية ساكت بداية المكالمة. يعني بعد المكالمة أنت بمخالفة.
مخالفتين أبو سعود، لأنه برضو كان يكلم اللي جنبه.
وعلى فكرة احنا مرسلين تعميم الشهر الماضي بخصوص الموضوع هذا لكل الموظفين.
عارفين كل التعاميم يا جماعة، إيش فيكم أنتم مرة مصعدين الموضوع.
Hi, I'm Mohammed Algarawi. I'm the co-writer of Mandoob, and I acted in it as well.
Okay. I saw you in a bathroom in the movie somewhere, right?
Yes. Let's give them some context, please.
Okay. All right. Yes. Let's not start with that. You are right.
No, I'm joking. It was the bathroom scene was the second scene that I only had 2 scenes for this character. One in the office, and then the other when my character means the main character in a bathroom. And it's a very crucial, important scene that just, puts the main character on a trajectory, a certain trajectory. So yeah, it's a small character with 2 scenes, but it's a prime mover of the plot, you may say.
And how was it working with the protagonist? How is he like?
Mohammed Algarawi is one of my closest friends. I've known him for 10 years. We work together on a lot of comedies. My main strength or my background is in comedy and stand-up comedy and comedy writing. But this is the first time we venture away from that. But I think we kept that, light tone throughout. So it was great working with Mohammed. I'm not an actor. This is my first acting role. So I kind of, leaned on him and borrowed from him and let him lead. And I just, played off of his notes. He was just composing and I was just supporting, strings maybe. Yeah.
Okay, and regarding the writing, tell me a bit about what was the inspiration behind the story?
Really there was a specific situation that kind of both me and Ali, the director and co-writer, felt. We were in a place with some people from the industry. It was just a social gathering with our friends. Some celebrities were there, some big soccer players were there, and then someone ordered from an app, ordered food. And then when the courier, the Mandoob, came in and just delivered the food, we were sitting outdoors. So when we opened the door, we just started looking at everyone. And we both, Ali and I, realized that this guy's look is different. He knows everyone, but no one knows him. So he has this very unique, interesting perspective on the city. An ever-evolving, fast, rapidly growing city like Riyadh. So we wanted to tell that story of change through the eyes of someone from the margins of society, by just taking them and putting them in the middle of the page. This is our protagonist, this is our hero. So that was the kind of inspiration of the story. But also from a thematic standpoint, or from a thematic side, I've always been obsessed with etymology and meaning of words. So the word Mandoob has multiple meanings in Arabic, one of which is a courier who delivers things, but it also means someone who's, someone you feel sad for because of misfortune to them. And honestly, anyone in the service industry is going through so much misfortune, and you wouldn't want to wish it on your worst enemies to stay in the service industry, throughout their life. It's just a stage where people do it at their youth and then give it up to the next generation. So we really wanted to, encapsulate the feeling of a Mandoob, because there's also this small dictionary that I enjoy called the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. And one of these sorrows is the word sonder. It's the realization that you're not the main character of everyone else's story. Everyone here is an extra. We're talking, but there's so many people that we don't know about. They're extras in our story right now. In this scene, they hold no significance, but we're also extras in their story. So that realization that you're not the main character, that sonder feeling, that existential feeling, is what we wanted to, I think, is just very close to what a Mandoob or a courier goes through. These people are just roaming the city. No one looks them in the eyes. If you order something through an app and you get your delivery, you open the door, you don't look them in the eyes. You just look at the bag. This is my order, thank you, and you leave. You wouldn't describe them, you wouldn't know how they look like, but they know your phone number, they know your place, they know your name, they know how you look like, and they could stalk you if they want. So there's a disconnect between us, but they hold so much information on you. So how about humanizing those people? That was kind of the prime mover, at least for me, the thematic layer of the film. Yeah.
And how would you describe the protagonist? There is some disorder there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he's all over the place. He's a casualty of change. He's collateral. I mean, when we wrote the script, we based it on so many people from our generation, people who were, in their 20s, 10, 20 years ago. So now they're in an entirely different country, culturally and socially, but they're no longer the winners. They're just trying to figure things out. They feel like they got the shorter hand of the stick. So we kind of borrowed from these disorders and weird behaviors from, ourselves and friends around us. And then we showed the script to a psychiatrist who just immediately diagnosed him with, this guy clearly has general anxiety disorder. This guy also has a lot of antisocial behavior. So we kind of took that back and then doubled down on it to make it we don't want to go schizophrenic, the Joker. No, it doesn't have to be that extreme. There's so many layers to mental health. So we wanted to have something subtle, but you can definitely see it in his behavior, and he lies a lot.
Yeah.
He does bad things. But I don't know if, ends justify means. To me, they don't. And this character that we wrote, I never saw him. I know he's complex, but I always thought he's the bad guy. He's the anti-hero. But I'm surprised by how many people, feel for him and relate to him and feel like he's complex. And we feel sorry for him. We forgive him. And maybe that's due to the fact that he has this, psychological malady, maybe, I suppose that's the right word for it. But yeah, he's definitely disturbed. He's a disturbed character, but in a very subtle way.
Yeah. Let's say you met him in real life. Would you be friends with him, you think?
I mean, I would, and that's why I felt as his manager, I felt I don't know if you've seen the film. What do you think about his boss, the guy who he met in there? Do you think he's a good guy or a bad guy? What did you feel?
I think he didn't know how to handle him, but
exactly.
He's a good guy.
That is 100%.
Yeah.
And I've had people in my life where I just wanted to help them, but they're not, you would extend your hand to help them, but they'd bite it. They're not willing to listen, they're not willing to empathize. So I kind of related to the manager, his boss, way more. And I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think my character was a bad guy. He's just, I can't just handhold you for that. We were friends for 10 years, but I can't handhold you for the rest of your life. You have to take your own destiny, right?
Mm-hmm. And tell me a bit, how is it now working in the movies in Saudi Arabia? How is the whole thing?
It's refreshing and exciting. We've been making films for, even before the cinema, for the past 10 years. Shorter stuff, digital platforms, in festivals, but now there's an industry, and there's an audience, and there's an economy around it. So we can no longer get away with making something that we like. It has to be something that resonates with people. So I am just anxious and excited to put Mandoob out and see how people relate to it. But it's just one step. I know it's an industry, it's a nascent industry. So any story is a new story, and there's no common taste or style of Saudi film, and I'm not bothered by that. It's just a process of, put out your work. If it resonates with people, it will set the tone, and then do you double down on it and do more of that, or do you experiment and try something else? I would love to experiment, and I don't want to do something dark right after Mandoob. I want to venture into something much, much sweeter and lighter. I'm writing a rom-com now, a romance comedy. Just it's a palate cleanser for what I went through over the past 3 years with this dark film. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But financially, it makes sense.
It does, of course. Yeah, it does. But it has to be controlled budgets. There's thirst in the market, but the size of the market doesn't justify huge budgets. Mm-hmm. So of course, both me and Ali and Mohammed, the actor, we're all part of this studio called Telfaz 11, which has been there for 10 years. And we've been, financially successful throughout this journey. But now it's just a matter of how do you make these bets and design the right films and put them out in the right time. And and there is definitely financial. There is potential for this market, and it's the fastest growing market in the area and the region. So, I don't know. We're exploring it.
And the last question, I guess, can you tell me a bit how was the reaction of the audience yesterday, and in general, how is the Saudi audience? How do they react to their movie? It's still a new thing, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, the Saudi audience is well versed in film. We grew up watching film, because we did not have it in cinemas. We used to have all sorts of VHS and DVDs, and then torrent, and then streaming, and we love film, and people have such a high taste, so we keep that in mind. And we got the reaction of festival audiences from Saudi and Toronto and India and Goa and Zurich and Torino a few days ago. It's been all over the place, but I still haven't seen the right test. 14th of December is when the film comes out, and that's when the street sees it, not festival audiences. This is much more of a controlled group. They love film. Of course they would enjoy it, and I appreciate it, and it gave me such a boost. But I'm still waiting to see how people would react to it, when it's out in the cinemas. It's like the streets, the people. That's what I'm excited to experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I guess that's
Thank
it.
you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you.